Everybody, welcome back to my channel. I have done yoga in the spirit of building some better habits during COVID every single night for the last month. I think I've only skipped about 2 days. And I've noticed a lot of changes, some that I didn't anticipate. I mean, there's the body changes. My body's definitely more flexible, lost a little bit of weight, tighter in spots, more energy, things like that, which is sort of what I expected. I was going into it wanting to clear my mind up a little bit, but I got more than anticipated. The first thing that I noticed, and I'm going to use a lot of woo-woo terms here, the first thing that I noticed really was a love for my body that I've always marveled at how incredible your body is and said that you should have respect for your body and stuff like that and have a good relationship with your body. But this was sort of the athletic feeling that I had when I was a kid, where it was more fun to be in my body, like when you're a kid, you're like, I remember playing baseball, doing track, climbing trees, riding bikes, like that feeling came back. So it was like a nice relationship, like, kind of like, hi, I remember you. And I thought that was over. I thought, cynically, being in my 40s, that it was just downhill from here. There's a lot of sort of like mind habits I think I've backslid into for the last decade. And this felt like getting out of limitations that the mind sets. Because I'm starting to feel like myself again. So I noticed that, and with that came a respect for my body, where it really, because I'm feeling in my body, I think I am feeling like this is my body. There's not this disconnection between the mind and the body, but it's mine. It's mine to respect. And if people are not gonna approach me with that level of respect, I want to have nothing to do with it. So it sort of is like, energetically, it felt like it was just containing me in better, cleaner energy that felt like my sovereignty. So the self-containment felt really nice because while I felt my body was physically getting stronger, I also just felt energetically self-contained, where I know where my boundaries are, where my edges are, and I don't want things coming in. When they do come in, things that feel negative, I want to just flush them out. So it gives me more motivation to flush out, the energies you pick up during the day, whether it's customer service, whether, it's something that happens in your social life, whatever. You kind of pick up these things. And for years I complained about dating and kind of, the lewdness of what men would say to me. I have not experienced that in a long time. So I do feel like I've really shifted away from a lot of vulgarity that I was experiencing coming towards me. So I don't know if, again, that sort of like field has been strengthened and energetically I've shifted inside, and that's kind of what's resonating out into the world. But I'm also, to be honest, I'm only on one dating app and I barely pay attention to it and nothing's happening. That's the other thing that I've noticed, and I can't correlate it to yoga, but I've noticed along my journey, just so much has fallen away, and it started really with dating. Like, nobody is interested anymore. So, I mean, that's fine, because it really is a time to be in this incubator and maybe healing some things, discarding some things, and getting back really into my own sovereignty. So that's fine. It's just funny. Things just drop away. Social plans are at like an all-time low, and dating is like non-existent. It's basically me and the cats, doing yoga, reading Carl Jung, meditating, which is totally cool. It's a period in my life. The other thing I noticed is I have an increase in awareness. I mentioned the negative things coming in, I just want to flush them out. So I have this awareness of what is my own energy. And I also have an awareness even within myself where the negativity is, that is heightened in a way that I haven't noticed before. So I do notice that beliefs are shedding. Notice first, I'm aware of negative beliefs and positive beliefs I have about myself, about life, about the external world. But I notice when they pop up a little bit more. I notice, you know, a moment that I am not, for example, I'm not expressing, you know, say enough pleasure in something good happening in a friend's life because I feel jealousy. And I catch myself faster. You know, I feel that I used to be more in a self-pity mode where it was like, oh, I'll be happy when I can have the same thing, or how come some people get that, I don't get that? And you know, that is absolutely maddening. That comparing yourself to others, especially in these days with social media, and you don't really know what's going on in people's lives. But those are beliefs that I'm you know, catching a little bit sooner and trying to flush out. Jealousy, self-loathing, reactivity, controlling behaviors, like all those things that were, you know, in my shadow or my subconscious do feel like they're bubbling up, and I feel like I have enough strength to face them. And you know, in the past I used to just be like, oh my God, like I don't want to see that, I don't want to see that, like get rid of it. But now it's like, okay, this is a perfect opportunity to face this and deal with it, and hopefully live the rest of my life with that gone and a better belief in its place. So what's nice about this is it's giving me more room for light to come in. So yoga is tethering yourself to God, and I get that now. It does feel like, you know, we have meditation, we have prayer, we have other spiritual practices, but it's nice to have something physical, because first of all, it's getting you out of your mind and into your body, into your heart center. So yeah, yoga does feel like, because of the repetitiveness of it, it does feel like every day I show up on the mat, there's something divine I'm honoring, there's something divine I'm connecting to, and it does feel like it's tethering me to that, and not in a way of like, you know, I kind of grew up with this paradigm of sin and punishment, which I find later in life is limiting, because I see the world as, you know, trauma. You know, I don't see acts necessarily, you know, negative acts necessarily as sin. I see people have been traumatized and they're doing the best they can. But that's a whole, like, I've talked about that in other videos, and I certainly don't want to downplay evil and all that. But it's nice for me, for my healing personally, to shift away from the self-loathing that comes from thinking I'm bad and I'm sinning, and to be able to have this repetitive tethering to God. I know Kierkegaard talks about repetition as a link to the divine, and I do feel that on the mat. And because of that, you know, on one hand I have these negative beliefs that are starting to flush out of my system, and it's leaving more room for this tethered light to come in and give me the strength that comes with hope and joy and positive beliefs. You know, like, and they say really positive things in the yoga videos, and when I was first doing them, I was like, whatever, yeah. But slowly it starts to like resonate with you, you know, like be proud of yourself, or just just little things start to be like, yeah, I am proud of myself. And I've actually been doing yoga since I was 29, I think, but I never got like super hardcore into it. That's the difference. So I saw some positive effects for sure, but doing it every day created a tipping point into something much more positive. Because it does feel like this interplay, you know, like there's that tale of like you have two wolves in you, you know, kind of like one's positive, one's negative. What are you going to feed? And I find doing yoga, I'm feeding the positive, because it's difficult, you know. There is that internal war going on, and I'm not saying like I'm in blissed out enlightenment, but it's a slow progression, and there's enough positivity that I'm very motivated to follow that path and see where that goes and let more light in. And what I'm finding is, because I'm aware of my feelings a little bit more, things are coming up from my subconscious, I'm aware of my motivations and how the areas that I make decisions from. I can kind of see which are more healthy areas to make decisions and which are not healthy areas to make decisions. So it's a lot easier for me to be emotionally self-contained and not act on impulses or whims or temptations that would maybe take me back into old patterns. It's much easier to be a little bit more quiet and make better choices. Having said that, though, things are falling away. My life is transforming in a way that I feel like currently I'm in a void, because it's like I'm not attracting anything, and I'm starting to lose resonating with things that I loved before. So there's that. But overall, I mean, that is a transformative journey in itself, because I feel like that's also the journey of, you know, shifting into something more positive and getting out of certain negative patterns and opening my heart to be more loving. So yeah, life has been a lot more calm and more peaceful, and it's fun to be back in a body that's, you know, wants to just move around and has that real flexibility and mobility, and really enjoying that. So after that month, I started doing Kundalini yoga, which is so insane. So I will report back in a month about how my Kundalini journey is going. I'm 2 weeks in, and I can already tell you, like, it's a whole other it's a whole other transformative experience. So Fatty, just maybe say hi to everybody. She's on the mat with me every day, like absolutely in my way. So thank you for listening.